Okay, start by logging on to Google, then go to the right corner up on top, click the menu, the app menu, click Drive, and then on the opposite side on the left you will see New, and you click Spreadsheet or Sheet, something like this. Here I have a list of words that I assigned in the previous assignment. Copy in each cell one of the words. It's very easy to do. And then you do the translation from Italian to English. You can do this over and over and over. Very simple to do. You click on top and then delete the entire column, and then you have a blank column, and then you can start over. And I'm going to show you just a couple of times, that's all. So you practice and reinforce, and this is simply for recognition. Once you're done, again you clean it up, get rid of it, and if you want to restore the previous, delete the previous action, then you can click that button up there, that icon, and there you have it. Now we are going to do the opposite. We are going to get rid of the Italian. We are left with the English, and we are going to write the Italian words. Obviously this is more significant because this entails that you will produce the language. It's much easier, for obvious reasons, to have a passive recognition than to remember the word actively, the spelling, and all the other complexities that go along with it. So here again, you finished, you delete, and you can do it over. In this case, we put it back, and we have both of them in front of us. Here, what do? You delete one of the two, you're left with the other, and I think in this case I'm changing, yes, I'm adding an expansion of the original Italian word. So it was casa, it becomes in una casa, appartamento, it is in un appartamento, and so forth. Or these are models that I posted in the basic lesson. Could be the assignment, one of the two that I gave my students. Anyway, these are structures that you're learning, and you're learning them by repeating them all the time. It's not sufficient just to take a look at something and to think you remember it. You remember it when you're able to produce it. So here the mechanics are intuitive. You copy paste, you can type in whichever way you want, and then you do the initial translation. Very quickly, efficiently. There we are. I mean, the mechanics is so intuitive that all you need to do basically is learning the specific tricks of the application. How do I, is it the right click to delete? In this case, put it back. And then what you do now that you learned things in a sequence, it's very easy to trick yourself into believing that you know something just because when you have a list, the list itself helps you remember. Easier to remember things on a list. Now, so what do? You try to scramble the list. You pick up a few items. I think this is still part of the previous exercise, but we're going to get there pretty soon. yeah, I could have probably cut this off because it's not really getting anything. Yeah, you know, you do the translation. Alright, so I am going to use now a chart that lists the most frequently used words in Italian by Italians. And I believe this has to do with conversation, not with the written language. So I'm copying the various words, the top 10, 12 nouns in this case. I go through the process, I do the translation, and you learn how to delete the column and then to do it over until you get that level of confidence whereby you know that you have memorized the words, the meaning, and aspects such as the spelling. And here it's simply another mechanical aspect. You learn how to copy chunks of a column, for instance of a list, and then you paste it into another column, or you could paste it at the bottom if you want. Here we have the first few words. So I started with the bottom words, and then I'm going to add the top words, so that this way you begin to scramble the list and you don't remember things in order. Here I'm taking a chunk of words in English, and if you keep on doing this over and over, you know, the new column that you have created, if you again take chunks of the column and paste it into another column, at the end you will really end up with a mixture. Here I am starting a new list. I'm using some of the words that we have already seen, plus some other very common words that you should know by now. First, the list of Italian words, that then I put in the translation, and at the end I am going to scramble the words, create another column that contains the same words but in a random order. This is how you do it with Google. You click the first of a list, then you press Shift, click the last one, right click, copy, and then you go to any cell and you click paste, and there it goes. If you were to click the top of the column, then the list of words would be repeated forever, and that's not what you want. Here I was doing some testing to see how it really worked, and that's what I came up with. Yeah, there are some intricacies to each and every application. So you click the first one, Shift, click the last one, copy, enter in a cell, then paste, and you get the whole thing. If you click the head, select the whole column, and you click paste, then you have those words repeated forever, which is not a bad thing in and by itself if you want to practice those things. So here instead I am creating a column, a list that is a combination of words from the previous two columns in Italian and in English, and by doing that over and over the way I'm doing it now, you create a longer list obviously, but it's also mixed. Some with English words are following Italian words and vice versa. Then you can take part of that column and create another column where the words will be further mixed until you get to a total random order. And that's very simple. I mean, that's all there is to it. The important thing is, again, to keep on practicing so that you will get completely confident in your knowledge of words, which are the basic of a language. If you don't know the words, you don't know the language, period.